Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today, as we look ahead to Watford versus Sheffield United. If rumours are to be believed, this could be the final game of Ed Steele's tenure at the football club. I can't believe we're in this situation again. Before we dive into my thoughts, we're going to hear from Sheffield United fan Nick to get the lowdown from the opposition.
Hello there, my name is Nick and I run the Sheffield United Way YouTube and podcast, and I'm here to give you some Sheffield United team news. So, you're probably catching us at the worst possible time for you, maybe best possible time for us, because we've finally won a game. It's our first win for some time. We've not won a game of football before this one for 6 games. And if you'd have said that to me sort of 10 games ago, I'd have laughed in your face and said, there's no way that's happening, because we were playing so well. It's no real secret that we lost our first 5 league games of the season, and I think 1 cup game thrown in there under Ruben Sayers. He got the sack. Chris Wilder came back in for the 3rd time. You guys will know him quite well as well. And we didn't have it all our own way for a while. I think the damage that kind of Ruben Sayers did to the squad, potentially mentally and physically, I think that showed for a while, and it took Wilder a while to get, the cogs turning, the wheels moving. But then we did, and we were motoring. We, had some of the best form in the division for 10, 15 games, something like that. And I think we all thought we're going to finish between 9th and 5th, even maybe, at that point. And, I think before the last game, we'd thrown away 29 points from winning positions. So I think that shows what sort of position we could have been in if we didn't throw away all those points. But at one point, before the Middlesbrough game, it looks like we could beat anyone on our day. We were flying. We lost that one, only just beat Wednesday, and then lost against Coventry City, and then it went from we can beat anyone in this division to, well, we can't beat the top two at that point, and then it just went down and down and down, and we've just been sinking, and now we're sitting in 17th. I think we are in the lowest position that we can be, because there's that sort of points difference between 17th and the rest of the league. Who knows? We might end up finishing lower, but we got that win against Hull City at the weekend. Thank goodness for that, because if it wasn't for that, I was thinking, where's the next win coming from? Because we've been not necessarily been that bad at football, but we've just been throwing points away, throwing the ball in the back of our own net constantly, with giving the ball away in silly areas, not, sticking to our men and letting them roam free and score goals. And it's just been really frustrating. Losing to Wrexham at home, that was a tough one to take. Letting West Brom come back into the game and getting a draw, and that started their revival. There's been quite a few games this season, and especially recently, where we've thrown points away constantly. So going into this game at Vicarage Road, I'm not exactly confident, let's put it that way. However, we have won this game of football, so hopefully our tails will be up. I know you guys, I think it's 4 games without a win for you guys. I think it's two goals in 4 games, possibly, for you guys. So, you guys aren't in the best of form going into this one. I still wouldn't say that we were in particularly great form going into this one, but at least we've won a game finally, and we can go into it with a little bit more confidence. Obviously, loser is going to be, big player for you guys. I've not watched too much Watford this season, but I watched the game against Wrexham, where you look quite comfortable against them, and obviously won that game 3-1. But since then, well, that's been your last win. So I've not seen Watford since then. So, yeah, I don't really know what to expect in this one. But we're a good footballing side. In my opinion, we've got one of the best squads and one of the best first 11 in the division. But maybe that's me being biased, but so have Leicester, and look where they are. So, we might come to Vicarage Road, we might give it a real good go, and we might score a few goals, but we're also susceptible for, throwing games and not putting teams to bed and letting them come back into the game. So I'm excited for this one. It's the first game I've been excited for in a while because we've got that win. Yeah, let's see what happens. Score prediction wise, I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw because we seem to score goals and we seem to also concede goals. So I went 2-2 in the last game. I'm going to go 2-2 again because I don't trust our defence and I think we've got a pretty good attack. So, yeah, good luck for the game. Good luck for the rest of the season. I think this is going to be, us guys in the Championship again for another one. So, yeah, until the next one.
Thanks to Nick at the Sheffield United Way for his contribution to the video. Make sure to check them out across all social platforms. How am I feeling as a Watford fan sitting in front of you today, looking ahead to the weekend? I think naturally I'm feeling quite sad actually and pessimistic about the weeks to come. I'm concerned actually about the long-term future of our football club. As I alluded to in the introduction, if rumours are to be believed, and take this with a pinch of salt, Ed Steele could very well be shown the door if he fails to beat Sheffield United this weekend. And to find ourselves in this situation again for the third time this season is gross mismanagement from the top of our football club. There's a real possibility that Watford could finish in 18th position in the Championship. And for this group to be that far down isn't good enough. It really is not. And I'm terrified actually about what's to come in the next few weeks, the next few months, and the next years actually. It feels like whatever happens, we're stuck with Gino Pozzo and Scott Duxbury and Juan-Luca Nani spouting the same nonsense over and over and over again. And I think finally a lot of the fan base are bored of it now. I know I certainly am. For those of you who agree with certain sections of social media and want Ed still to go because of our performances and results, that's fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. My question to you, and please reply in the comments below, is who would you hire next? Who, in your opinion, is a good fit to come into Watford Football Club? Because we've tried everything, right? This season is the prime example of stark contrast in managers. Paolo Pezzolano was almost a disciplinarian, like a Vladimir Ivic type. He was a no-nonsense manager, and that ultimately, for one reason or another, didn't fit with the hierarchy and certainly didn't fit with our young crop of players. Javi Gracia returns, arguably an appointment to get the fans back on side. And to some effect, at the start, it worked. We were all enjoying Javi, and that run over Christmas was a particular highlight. But yet again, there was clearly a disagreement between him and the higher-ups. And rather than being sacked, he actually resigned from his position, which I thought was very telling at the time. And now we have reverted to type, like we did with Rob Edwards and Tom Cleverley. We bring in a head coach with very little senior experience, someone who is led heavily by data. And so far, the evidence suggests this isn't working out. So my question to you at home is, if you are Ed still out, who would you hire next? Do let me know in the comments below. Look, just to conclude on the Ed Still talk before we get on to my score prediction, I've made it very clear that my personal opinion and view is to stick with Ed and try and build something for the longer term. We should have done that with Tom Cleverley, and Plymouth Argyle are now reaping the rewards of sticking with him even when the times were tough. They were in a relegation battle at points, Plymouth Argyle, this season, but their board and their hierarchy ignored the pressure, stuck with Tom and his coaching staff, believed in the project, and they're competing for the player positions, looking for an immediate return to the Championship. Whereas Watford, following the sacking of Tom, have been through 3 head coaches and are looking to record our lowest Championship finish for a very, very long time. And I think that's actually a credit to Tom Cleverley and also a testament to how badly we have been managed. So I'll leave the Ed Still talk there. I'm sure there'll be plenty to come over the summer and the weeks ahead, depending on what the club choose to do. How do I see this game going? As I said, we know what Chris Wilder can do. Again, I really like the guy. I wish Watford had stuck with Chris Wilder, actually. But when he joined the club, it was as a short-term appointment, more so to stabilise us. He was actually very honest in his comments when he was here as well. He criticised actually the way of working, the hierarchy, how we operated. He wasn't scared to express his opinion, Chris Wilder, and we are set to face him this weekend. Another ex-manager due to come to Vicarage Road. Both sides on the beach. As Nick said, they have been in poor form of late, just picking up a victory very recently. I can only see this going one way. I think Sheffield United here are going to pick up a big win and heap huge pressure on Ed Still and Gino Pozzo to make another huge decision about the future of our club. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Sheffield United win. I really hate to say it, and I'm usually really positive here on the videos, but I can't see this season ending well. We saw how toxic the away end was at Oxford United, and it can get a lot worse than that, let me tell you. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-1 Sheffield United win. They can score goals, they can concede them as well, but we know how inconsistent Watford are. And when there's nothing to play for and nothing to fight for, the evidence suggests that this group just crumbles. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time. I hope to see many of you at Vicarage Road. And yeah, you know, I can't wait for this season to end. I'm looking forward to the World Cup, England, forgetting about Watford. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.